Here in the Imus morning program here from CBS News. This is Andy Rooney. Good morning, Mr. Rooney.
Morning, Mr. Imus.
How are you, sir? How are you?
I don't answer that question usually.
Why don't you?
That just seems pointless. I don't know. I'm about the same as I was yesterday, which isn't bad.
But what have you done? Well, here's my first question.
Yes, what's your first question?
Why did you go on the Boomer Esiason show on MS and whatever it's on?
That's one of the best questions I ever heard you ask. I don't know why I did. It's like, why do I go on the Imus show? I just don't know. Why did I tell Bernard just now that I'd talk to you? I just don't know. It's sort of fun. I don't know. You know, we all have a little ego, and it's sort of fun.
So now, what did you say about female sideline football reporters?
I said that it was ridiculous to have these women down on the sideline doing football reports, and I doubt if I should have said it, but some of them are quite good. I mean, some of them are good, but they're chosen more for their appearance and their knowledge of the game, and I have never heard anyone who adds anything to the game. I mean, it's hard to defend my opposition to it, and but I just, you know, it's like, I was trying to think of something like hair and butter. I like, you know, a woman's hair can be a very attractive feature, part of her, what she looks like. And I love butter as a cooking element. I use a lot of butter. And I like both hair and butter. But you get a little hair on the butter and it ruins both of them. And I feel that way about women in football.
Well, I mean,
yeah, are there any other questions?
You don't think that you don't think they picked Brian Williams to succeed Tom Brokaw because he distinguished himself journalistically, do you?
I think Brian Williams is a very good journalist.
Yeah, but I mean, if he looked like, I don't know,
Imus.
Imus. Danny DeVito, he wouldn't be anchoring the news, so that's sort of a fact of life. So, well, here's what we wish, because I feel comfortable saying this. We love you, and we have a special affection, particularly Charles and I. We're really based on your writing more than anything else. I don't know personally, but not that fond of business.
I like that, yeah.
But why you don't need to get in these messes. It's just why?
Why are you behaving like my father?
I don't know, but I mean, because he looks like it. Until they look like it.
You know what happens? I mean, I get trouble here at CBS all the time. If somebody calls me on the phone and asks me a question, I answer it. And I should say no comment or have some clever way of getting out of it, but I almost never do. I don't know why.
And it isn't because you're 83, because you were doing this when you were 23.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it's not like, you know, you've fallen off the scope like say, I don't know, Mike has. So, you know, well, I understand. I just wish you wouldn't do it.
How did it come up?
But how did it come up, by the way?
How did it come up?
Did Boomer ask you? What do you think of female sideline reporters?
Oh, he just brought it up. Yes. It was sort of fun to go. He was quite charming. I was surprised how good he was. And, I don't know. I was at the end of the thing, and I said one of the things I can't stand about broadcasting the games is, I mean, there are a lot of things I could have said. I mean, you know, Madden loses interest in the game before I do, too, but I didn't say that. There are a lot of things I could have said.
So you volunteered this observation.
You brought it up.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it worse.
But you can't stand around trying not to get into trouble all day long. You know?
Well, no, I guess you can.
That's good.
All right.
Awfully nice talking to you, Don.
Thanks, Mr. Rooney. Andy Rooney from CBS News here on the Imus morning program. That means the conversation is over.
Yeah, sure.
That's Mr. Rooney. It's like me saying this. Well, whatever. So.
Much of the criticism of the war has been, I mean, I guess it always is to some extent directed personally at the president, and maybe it's been no more so with, George Bush than it was with Lyndon Johnson or anyone else. But what's your take now on George Bush?
Well, I'd rather not answer that question. I have not been a supporter of his. I did not vote for him, and I was very critical of what he did here. And I must say that fortunately he's president and I'm not, and it appears as though he did the right thing, and I didn't think he was doing the right thing. And if he's listening, I apologize.
32 minutes after the hour here on the country and on MSNBC. Please welcome now from CBS News in 60 Minutes, Andy Rooney. Good morning, Mr. Rooney.
Morning, Don.
How are you?
Good.
Do you double date with Mike Wallace?
Mike's a good friend of mine.
He was on the other day, and I know it sounds like I'm sucking up to him. I'm not. I really like him. I told him I thought he was a...
Yeah, I heard that. I think he went a little overboard, but...
You did?
He's a good guy. He's fun to be with.
He got distracted by the television, and so then he sent me a note yesterday apologizing for that, which I just thought actually made me feel bad because he shouldn't. I thought he was charming. So I wrote him back a note and I swore at him or something. Not him, but I just told him how silly it was. It was an honor to have him on the program, and just to drop it.
It was not an honor, but he liked being on, and it was.
It's not an honor for me to have him on?
No, no, it's just a business.
Well, this is not going well. So. Mary, how have you been, by the way?
Well, not too good. I tried to come down. I was coming down West End Avenue and going up 6th Avenue last night, and I got into that park business that you got into.
What you do about it?
The park entrance to the park. Of course, millions of your listeners don't give a damn about Central Park, but it's important to anyone's life in New York City.
It's important to you and me.
Yeah.
And that's all. I mean,
that's all that matters, right?
You may be kidding, but I'm not. So they park these huge trucks. I mean, I guess it's fine. Well, it's fine if they want to have the marathon, but it brings a lot of revenue to the city, and it's a great thing.
The city is mobbed. I've been going out to restaurants at night, and my gosh, you can't get anywhere. It's really incredible how much it influences the city, this marathon, more than the political convention, for instance.
Well, what were you doing last night? Where were you going?
I went to a good restaurant.
Hey, you know who I met last night?
Who?
Have you ever been to the Tribeca? What the hell's the name of this place?
Tribeca Grill.
Yeah, have you ever been there?
Yes, I'm going tonight.
I met the guy who owns it.
Yeah, Rooney.
Oh, okay. Isn't he a lovely guy?
Oh, he's a good guy, and he's a good restaurateur. He's one of the best. He's just a first-class guy. I like that restaurant. I've been going there for years.
He owns these Nobu Plaza. I don't go out to dinner, so I've never been to any of them. Nor will I ever go, but he was honored last night at this cancer research dinner that Dave and I attended as humanitarian of the year, was well-deserved. But he made the sweetest acceptance speech about his mother who died of cancer and about his 14-year-old daughter. It was just, what a charming, lovely guy.
Well, his mother she was some kind of a performer, wasn't she? I think she had a name in the business. She used to sing on radio or something.
She used to be on CBS Radio.
Yeah.
So, and she died of cancer, but he was just so charming and sweet. And I said to my wife, I said, it's just a shame, because he said some nice things about me, and I said, it's just a shame that we don't go out to dinner, because this is a guy to know. So here I just met the guy from...
Why don't you go out to dinner?
Oh, I'm not hungry.
Well, that's got nothing to do with going out for dinner. It's a little event. You get hungry at a good restaurant.
I don't know. I don't want to go. I just don't like it. You know what it is, actually? I don't like to be around alcohol.
Yeah, I do like to be around alcohol. I resent...
You're not a drunk.
No, but I resent the bad name that alcohol has gotten. I very much enjoy 2 drinks. I never have 3, but I have 2 drinks a night, every night of my life. And it is such a pleasant little thing to do.
It's great. I encourage people to drink if they can drink. It's none of my business, not my job to encourage people to do anything, but I'm not anti-alcohol at all.
I look for those stories in the paper every few months about how good it is for you, you know?
Absolutely.
Yes, it is good for you. Wine and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they call it wine, but that's fake. It's alcohol that's good for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
They try to mitigate it by using wine instead of real liquor, but it's liquor that does it. Wine is just one of them.
But the difference between you and people like me is that 2 drinks is just a start, and then I spend the rest of the next 9 days trying to get that 2-drink feeling back.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did you make of the? I know I didn't talk to you about it. I don't think I did. I'm losing it. But the whole Judy Miller thing.
Well, there was something about Judy Miller that I never knew, and I feel bad about anything that's bad for the news business because I respect people in it. I like the people in it better than I like the people in any other business.
I think most of them are more honest than people in most businesses. I think they're dedicated to what they do, and I don't think money is in first place with their interests. And so when anything comes up that's bad for news anywhere or reporters in general, I feel bad about it. So I feel bad about that, and I'm not. I couldn't get over how tough your friend was with her. Holy mackerel.
Well, that's my next question. Why do you have to call her my friend? I mean, she is, but I mean, this makes it sound like I'm somehow I was complicit in all this.
Yeah, no, I couldn't think of her name.
Okay, Maureen Dowd.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to keep the beer cold, Andy, put it next to her heart. Anyway, Maureen Dowd in the New York Times dropped a safe on Judy Miller, and it would be like, and this is probably a pretty good analogy, if Andy Rooney went on 60 Minutes and attacked Mike Wallace. Wouldn't it?
It would be. It was incredible. You have to give the Times credit for running it. I mean, they knew it was going to be. Now what do they do with her? That's the interesting thing. Do they let her continue as a reporter for the Times or not? Probably not.
I doubt it. But there's some people who think Maureen denied this on this program, and I would doubt it, frankly. But there were, not that I'd know, but there were people suggesting that Keller, the editor, and some other people put Maureen up to this.
Well, I would doubt that.
Yeah.
I don't think she needs being put up to.
No.
I mean, she's beyond being able. I don't think you could put her up to much.
Doesn't she look like the kind of woman who should have been hanging around with Sinatra and that bunch?
Yeah, she probably would have fitted in.
Yeah, because she'd sit down at the end of the bar with a pell-mell hanging out of her mouth.
You know, I hung out with Sinatra.
Did you?
I did an hour broadcast about Frank Sinatra years ago, and kind of got to know him. I went to his house out in Palm Springs, and it was more fun. I mean, I had a great time with Sinatra. Briefly, it was just for a couple of days, but I got to know him.
Did you meet Jilly?
Well, Jilly, when I came to New York, I saw him again, and Jilly had the restaurant on 50th Street, I guess it is. Yeah, we went in there.
Did you ever run into Rocco Maselli?
No, don't know.
Okay, well, he's a watch guy. Rocco the Thief, they call him. He's not a thief.
Yeah.
He's a Cartier dealer.
But Frank Sinatra was a strange factor in our entertainment business. I mean, he was such an interesting person, and certainly not all good.
Well, no, probably not.
But a great performer.
But back to Maureen Dowd and Judy Miller just for a second. So Maureen would have to know, obviously, what the sentiment was regarding Judith Miller in the newsroom there at the Times. And in this email that the editor, Bill Keller, who's, by the way, an idiot and ought to be out of there, because there's nobody running that newspaper. This email that he sends to everybody and uses the word entanglement, which is a pretty loaded word regarding Judith Miller and Scooter Libby. I mean, when you read that, what did you think he meant by that?
Well, first I'd like to demur. I don't think Keller is an idiot, and I think he's probably a good editor. I don't know him.
But you didn't say he was. I did.
Yeah, I know it.
Oh, okay.
I was saying you were wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, sure.
Hmm.
Well, I accept that.
What was your question? I forget. I don't think I knew the answer. That's why I forgot the question.
My question was, what do you think, Mr. Keller, this genius over there at the time, what do you think he meant by the word entanglement regarding Judith Miller and Scooter Libby?
Well, I think he meant that they had some previous conversations that made her an insider in that whole episode, and she was entangled. She knew a lot about it.
Yeah, I read it as a loaded word. I mean, why wouldn't he just describe Mr. Libby as a source of Miss Miller's, as opposed to some entanglement, which suggests an improper relationship to me? I mean, you know more about words than I do, and I'm not being self-effacing, but I mean, that's the way I...
Well, you are being self-effacing, and it isn't working.
It's not. Talking with Andy Rooney from 60 Minutes is just not going to get by with anything, and I'm not even trying to get by with anything, by the way. I'm not that stupid. So, Dick Cheney's approval rating is at 19%, according to some of these polls, and Charles and I talking the other morning. When you get up in the morning, I mean, and you're sitting across the breakfast table, I mean, Mole in there, And your approval rating is 19%. How do you rationalize that? I mean, what do you think how do you then go out and do what you're supposed to be doing?
I don't know. It must be tough. You've got to have a way of fooling yourself if you're president, I think. And I think they're probably all fooling themselves into thinking that this isn't as bad as it looks. But I don't know whether I ever told you this, but I got an idea that I keep pushing for as a way to elect better public officials. Every voter would have to take an IQ test, and when that person went to the polls, his IQ would be registered along with his vote. And the vote, when the votes were taken, the IQ of all the voters would be summed up. And the one who got not the most votes, but the highest total IQ would be elected president.
That's a very good idea.
It is a good idea. I can't get anywhere with it. But.
Well, because the people who would have to enact that probably have fairly low IQs. Did you like John Roberts?
Well, I think it would have been very difficult for anybody to turn him down. I didn't like him. I thought he was very good. And I don't really see, except that he is an ultra-conservative, I don't see how they're going to defeat Alito. I mean, he's experienced. He seems reasonably smart. And I don't see how in the world they're going to turn him down. I mean, is there anybody that the Republicans could put up that would be approved by the Democrats? I don't think so.
Well, Roberts pretty much got a free pass. I mean, that seems. They're describing some of them like Harry Reid and others were. Well, Harry Reid just said this, but predicting Armageddon in the Senate. But I don't think this pick has the potential for that. I agree with you. So.
Yeah.
The other day, Colonel Jack Jacobs was in here, and I was talking, and Senator McCain was here, and they brought to my attention this. I'm sure it'll interest you.
He's too good to believe, isn't he, McCain? God, every time he says anything, he's right.
I always wait. Well, I used to wait years ago for the other shoe to drop, but there's
I know what.
It's like Harold Ford Jr., who I like a lot, from Tennessee. Do you know him?
I know the name.
He's very impressive. And I met his dad, and I was just kidding, Harold Ford Sr., and I described him as Reverend Ike without the jewelry. But I just, it's just a kind of a visual joke. But he's a very impressive guy running for the Senate in Tennessee. And occasionally Charles and I will talk during the commercials, and we have said over the past number of years, we just don't want the other shoe to drop on Harold Jr. because
so far so good.
He's even more. He's African American, and he is enormously impressive. He's just impressive. Period. He's impressive as a human being, but got a wonderful sense of humor and smart.
I object every time I hear the words African American. I don't know why we have gotten caught with that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm an Irish American.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What should I say? Just black, right?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with black.
I don't either.
Growing up, it's funny how words get to be opprobrious. The word Negro is a perfectly good word. It's a strong word and a good word. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't. Mostly, it's not necessary to identify anyone by skin color. But I don't care for African American.
Well, I won't use it anymore.
Speaking as an Anglo-American, neither will I.
13 to the hour, talking with Andy Rooney here on the Imus for the morning program. Anyway, so I'll tell you about. So Colonel Jacobs and John McCain are here. And apparently this Gulf of Tonkin incident, did you read that story?
No.
Well, it's a Charles, what was it?
Front page of the Times a couple of days ago that because of a misreading, apparently, of a cable back in the Gulf of Tonkin during that period, that there was some sort of almost fantasy second attack that occurred in the Gulf of Tonkin that involved a couple of U.S. warships like destroyers.
Yeah, I did see that.
But it never occurred, and it was just some weird miscommunication. And was it purposely misinterpreted in order to justify, what happened after the Gulf of Tonkin or not? Just a strange story.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I just think it's hard for most of us to believe that our government or anybody in it is deliberately deceiving us, but it's obviously true that they do sometimes. And I think probably, mostly they think they're doing the right thing for us. You know, it's not for their own well-being that they do it.
Well, I think this was a situation where they made a mistake and didn't want to own up to the mistake and so covered it up.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that going on.
And then as Jeff Greenfield, I believe it was Jeff Greenfield I talked to yesterday, said, meanwhile, 58,000 people are dead, and who knows how many Vietnamese and other people. So it's weird. Finally, Sean McManus is going to be the new head of CBS News. Is that good?
Well, I think it is. I think everybody I know here was pleased. We expected the worst, and we got the best. Sean McManus, I hate to talk this nicely about my new boss, but he seems like a really first-class guy and a bright guy, and I hope he has enough strength to pull the CBS News out of the depths to which it is sunk.
Well, this is the situation, in case y'all haven't been following this, where Mr. McManus is the head of CBS Sports, and then now made him the head of CBS News, and he will remain the head of CBS Sports, I believe. But there's precedence for that in that a number of years ago, Rooney was the head of ABC Sports, as most folks know, and he became a head of ABC News and did a pretty good job doing that. So
I really object to the fact that news has to be a profit maker. There ought to be, I don't know whether you need a government law or what, but an informed electorate is so important to our democracy that getting the news to the most, all the news, good news, to the most people is so important that I think the three networks ought to be obliged to provide news without it being dependent, without their having to make any money on it. I mean, they shouldn't be allowed to make any money on it. They should be forced to spend a certain amount of their profit every year on the news and provide the American public with good news with no thought about how much they were making or losing.
Well, you're right, of course, but that,
funny. Well, I don't think it's out of the question that would be put into effect. I don't see why not. They have to get a license to broadcast. They get a license to make these millions of dollars they make. Why couldn't we include a little passage in there that made it imperative for them to provide news?
Oh, well, you should be able to. Unbiased news, too.
Yes, but I mean without any talk about how much they were making or losing.
You know, I made this observation of Wallace, and Mr. Wallace, and I'll make it to you. It doesn't seem to me like either one of you miss old Hewitt all that much, and it sounds like you're more than happy that Hayward's out of there.
Well, everybody liked Andrew Hayward, and not everybody liked Don Hewitt, but no one thought he wasn't. Everybody thought he was pretty good.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I think we were all surprised. We would have been pleased if we got a replacement who wasn't any good. But Jeff Fager is absolutely first class as a replacement for Don. He is a lot different from Don, but very bright, very good, and very ethical, too. I don't think they're going to push Jeff Fager around.
Right. Well, that's what I mean, poor old Don.
Well, no, poor old Don.
Oh, that's okay. It's fine with me. It's always fun to have you on the program.
Yeah, it wasn't much fun this morning. I'm sorry.
What?
It wasn't much fun this morning.
Yeah, you're fine. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I was going to say it's an honor, but you get all...
No, don't do it.
Oh, fine, okay.
All right.
Have a nice Thanksgiving.
I enjoy your show.
I like yours, too.
No.
I hate till they are.
1, 2, 3. Imus in the morning.
I don't have any security with him. It's just...
Oh, my God.
He just said, what?
Nothing. Actually, it's an unrelated thing. I didn't realize my microphone was on. Andy Rooney, apparently, he made headlines already. Yeah. He made the Drudge headline already with his rant about he doesn't like the term African American. The word Negro is a perfectly good word. There is nothing wrong with that. Andy Rooney on Imus, 11:405 MSNBC, 8:45 a.m. Eastern Time. Lead headline.
Documented. Well,
why do we use that term anyway?
Oh, here, take that rope, Andy. Why don't you just hang yourself?
Oh, I know what he was saying. Well, no, he wasn't. Well,
Well, what was wrong with that?
Well, the word Negro is offensive to African Americans.
It's not a pejorative in any way.
It's not a pejorative at all, is it?
No.
I don't use it, but
The N-word is, but that is not the N-word.
You don't use the word Negro anymore. You don't talk about the
you
Negroes
don't.
in America.
In our culture
Except
today.
the United Negro College Fund.
yeah.
That's right.
There you go.
David,
And-
press the
and-
It's okay.
And colored people, but those words are from a different time.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying they seized on it, and Andy's going to have to explain. That's all.
Oh, my God.
He's going to
Here
have
we
to
go.
issue an apology if I
Holy
offended
cow.
anybody. Hey, so good work, I mean.
No, I didn't do anything.
You got Andy Rooney in trouble. What are you talking about?
I used the term African American, and he told me he didn't like that. And just making black seems fine to me. Or how about people?
His point was that we don't have to identify ourselves by color.
And he's right.
Just American will do. That was his point.
Then why would he say that he liked the word Negro?
He just said it was a perfectly good word. The implication that it was in and of itself, not in a pejorative sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's going to have to explain that. That's all I'm saying.
So who's he going to have to explain it to?
Well, it's already on Drudge. That's what Bernie's point is.
He'll be getting calls. CBS will be getting calls. Andy,
yeah.
what were you talking about, Mr. Rooney?
Associated Press will be calling. Mr. Rooney was not immediately available to respond to inquiries regarding the...
That plus Andy Rooney tonight on 60 Minutes.
We're having a fist fight with Ed Bradley at Black Rock tomorrow.
Look at the statements I've gathered here.
Okay, I'll answer your questions. But don't send a colored guy over here to ask him.
We'll talk to Fred Anderson.
What he's up to.
Kind words. I don't know what's up with Andy Rooney. Maybe Andy Rooney. I find it interesting that he said on the radio this morning what he said, and nobody has made a big peep about it. I've been waiting on purpose not to mention this. I will bet you that if I repeat what he says, that will make news. The fact that he said it first will not. Do you know what he said? He said what? What Andy Rooney said was that he doesn't like the term African American. That he thinks the word Negro is perfectly fine, but he's not a big fan of the term African American. So on the radio today, there hasn't been a peep about it, and we'll just see how long it takes for there to be some sort of outrage. I don't think